Well, all right. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is 6 o'clock. I'm going to get started. So what we have today, let me share my screen. All right. So what we have is shish kebab, pita, Alyssa Banya, and Alyssa Watt. So I'm going to first get, let's look at the shish kebab recipe, see if there's anything we need to marinate or anything like that. Let's see. Rinse the chicken with cold water, cut it, add all the ingredients and blend, mix well, cover, and let marinate. So we need to marinate the chicken and we need to probably make the pita. Those are probably the two main things that we need to do right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the stuff together for the chicken marinade and chicken breast. So need just kind of gather up everything, get all my meat and blocks together so I can get all of this set up. So I've got chicken breast, tomato sauce, Greek yogurt, glasses of plugging. Vinegar. Vinegar, yogurt, garlic. Good morning. I am gathering up the stuff to marinate right now. I'm getting the marination for the chicken done, and then after the marinating of the chicken, I'm going to be doing the pita bread. That is what I'm just gathering up all my mise en place for the marination of the chicken.
Morning, Chef.
Good morning. Just getting everything ready. All my mise en place together. That's all I'm getting right now. Olive oil, garlic, tomato, lemon, paprika. Got the ginger, turmeric. Morning. Did y'all get paprika? on the search for my paprika. Go get some. Good morning. We are working on the adhesive gloss for the marinade for the chicken. All right, so I got my paprika now. Let me gather up lemon juice, paprika, yogurt, vinegar, garlic, olive oil, oregano, paprika, ginger powder, nutmeg, and salt and pepper. All right, so I got everything. I'm gonna just go ahead and cut up my garlic. Everything together. So I've got, you can see all my mise en place sitting here. Let me just get my garlic. I'm gonna marinate this, then I'm gonna work on my naan bread. Started so it can sit and marinate, and then we'll get the naan bread. Again, you want it really fine. Nice paste or something, because you don't want it to burn. Okay, go ahead. What you looking for?
The aprons for dishwasher.
Oh, you know what? There was 2 yesterday. Sitting there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just chopping up my garlic real fine. Yeah. Nicely finely chopped and a little bit pasted. There, to the cutting board. Cutting board. All right, so I've got my chicken, or actually my cut my lemon. Always like to smell my chicken, make sure it's still good. No one wants to have. All these ingredients. Let's see here. We're going to lemon juice. And mix seeds. Seeds. We have tomato sauce. Or instead of tomato sauce, you can use tomato. Put a tablespoon. I'm going to do about the same amount of paste. Well, tablespoon of yogurt. Don't use all of your yogurt because you're going to be using it for your non-bread as well. Yogurt, vinegar. We've got ground ginger. A little bit of nutmeg. You can use a microplane to grate it. If you have fish of oil, salt and peppers. Come off the water. Okay. Salt and pepper. Mix that up. Gonna look like something like so. And we're going to set up my chicken, put it back in a Ziploc, and then let it sit and marinate with that stuff on there. And then, oh, I forgot my garlic. Get my chicken breast out.
Excuse me, Chef.
Yes, ma'am.
The vegetable, I'm gonna start cutting it separated and put in marinate in a different bowl, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like to do that, but in like right now, if you can do it together if you so desire. The reason why I like to separate it is just because of in the real world, you might not use up all of the stuff and
Right,
I have
right.
to throw away all of that vegetable because it's contaminated with salmonella.
Yeah.
So you could do it separate or not.
Yeah, I'm doing separate, yeah, because no one's gonna eat it.
Yeah,
All the
exactly.
vegetable, right?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you, Chef.
All right, so I got my chicken right here. I'll take some of my marinade, put it in there. Not all of it, because again, I'm gonna separate it. Little shake and bake kind of deal. There we go. Get that chicken all marinated right there. And then any vegetables you want, there are onions, works with both vegetables. Wash the pan. Take out this. All right, this be a meat kebab. If you want a meat kebab. You just don't want any vegetables and you want some meat. I'm gonna kind of clean up my area real quick. Since I have chicken right here, I need to wipe it down. All right, what do we want? Maybe some. Put in some onion. Do a little bit of onion. I've got some tomato here. I want to. I'm gonna just do onion and chicken. You wanna do other things, feel free. All right, so I'm gonna just do some the chicken and some onion for the shish kebab. So I've got that chicken marinating, I've got the onions marinating. Done. Chicken's done. All I have to do is now cook it. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna just go ahead and let that sit and marinate for a while. And realistically, I just have to cook it, skewer it up and cook it. That's it. So I will do that in a little while. So I'm gonna now focus my attention on the next thing that needs to happen, and that is the naan bread. So or I'm sorry, not naan bread. I said naan, but I meant to say pita. So we have, I need to kind of get situated, get all my stuff together. I need my bread flour. Oh. So I got bread flour here.
Excuse me, chef, straight dough
yes.
method, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Exactly. Let's see, my yeast right here. If you do not have whole wheat flour, that's totally fine. You know, it's not the end of the world. You just use just regular, just add more flour, 2 ounces of more flour. Let's see, salt, yogurt. Yogurt, sugar, and oil. All right, I think I got everything, and now I need to weigh it all out and start making it. everything out. Except the water right now, I'm gonna just measure out everything else. Then I will do the water because I want the water to be kind of warm. Yeast, 7 grams. Grams of yeast. All ounces. Red flour. Okay. 12 ounces red flour right there. Yeast. Do not have whole wheat flour, it's all right, but I'm gonna make balancing. So I'm gonna do 2 ounces. Ounces of whole wheat. 6 grams of salt. Nice if they stayed in one measurement. How much? 6 grams. Salt. Half a teaspoon. All across. Yogurt. You can use the the olive oil instead of canola oil is fine. I just need to clean up my station and get a mixer over here. If you don't want to use a mixer, you don't have to. You can do it by hand. The only thing I need to do is get the water. I have not done it just quite yet, but I'll do that after I get my mixer. I don't need. If you have not already searched your skewer. Make sure you soak your skewer in water. And drill them, or put them in the oven. 7 ounces of water. Right. 7 ounces of warm water, not hot, or not like boiling hot, but warm. Nine. Mixer.
Look at the extra product they gave you for the smoker.
Oh, geez. Nice. Wow, that's kind of nice.
I'm excited.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, heck yeah. No, thank you. I'm gonna put my yeast in first. Put my 7 ounces. Okay, I got my 7 ounces of water right going in. I'm gonna put in that sugar. I like that sugar to kind of go in there. And a straight dough method. How is the straight dough method? You basically dump and whirl, put everything in and mix it all up. So I'm gonna put the flour in. Oil. Whole wheat, if you have it. If not the end of the world. The yogurt. Yogurt goes in. Salt is the last thing for me. Salt came last. Start mixing it up. ball up now. Stop it. Feel it. I had some yogurt on the side. I'm gonna hold the bowl. Yogurt in some bowl. Let that mix up just a little bit. Put the camera back, and then I'm gonna go get a container, a bowl to put this in. Put it in a bowl. A nice light little camera side. Here's my dough. I'm gonna ball it up. Put it right in my bowl, and I'm gonna wrap it with plastic wrap, and I'm gonna put it somewhere where it's warm, to where it will do its fermentation. Once it's fermented, double its size, I'll take it out, I'll push it out, and it's 2.5 ounce. I'm gonna have to look. Yeah, 2.5 ounce. Yeah, and I put a little circle around the dough ball so where I can kind of see how long our time is going to be, or if it's double the size. I put my product on top of this stove to stay warm. I'm gonna now we'll start working on the Alyssa Watt, the one with the peas. I think realistically, I've got my I just have to skewer it up and grill it, right? So that's very small amount of stuff to do on that. The pita, it's pretty much done. All I have to do is portion it out and cook it, right? And then everything else is pretty straightforward. So, or you know what? I do need a little flour when I'm rolling it out. So I'm going to just get a little bit of flour in a container and I'll leave that out, but I don't need the rest of the bread flour anymore. That away. Put that over to the side. All right, so take off my mask because I don't have anybody in this kitchen right now, so I'm gonna have my mask off. Okay, so I have already done the pita, so let's see. All right.
Excuse me, chef. I'm sorry to bother you so much. I
No, you're
soaked when
not.
I got home from work last night. I soaked the split peas. I soaked them in the
Yeah.
water and I put the vanilla stick on there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, they
That
say
is
gives.
good.
They say I was reading the recipe and it says it gives it a like the flavor. You know, like absorbs.
For sure,
That
for
vanilla
sure. It
taste.
absorbs into the product itself. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Guys, I'm gonna step away for 1 second. I need to use the restroom. Be right back. All right. All right, I'm back. So I'm gonna work on my peas, split peas. Do my okra. So we have already soaked the beans in water with the cinnamon stick and the chilies. Then you've got a cup of water or a cup and a half of water, vegetable stock, red hardball chilies, onion, canola oil, ground ginger, or minced ginger, tomatoes crushed or small diced tomatoes, mustard seed, turmeric, green serrano pepper slices, if you have serranos, and salt and pepper. Right? The instructions are basically first bloom the spices, cinnamon and chilies in a stock pot with the chickpeas, and you let them, the cinnamon and dried chilies, around 20 minutes to soften. Okay, you're going to strain the liquid out. So you could do this right now, or if you did it yesterday. I did mine yesterday as well. So you just let your cinnamon stick in your dried chilies, those arbol chilies, the Asian kind of chilies. And you know what, I can show you if you haven't already. I mean, it's pretty much simple. You just put the split peas in water or stock, whatever, and you just let it sit, and you're just going to just let it sit with those chilies and cinnamon stick. If you haven't done that, you know, it's only going to sit for about 20 minutes. You could, you know, let it sit for about 20 minutes. That's totally fine. Right. Then you're going to, in a stock pot, add oil, onions, cook for about 10 minutes on medium heat. You're going to add your ginger, your garlic, your spices, cook for about another 5 minutes, add your tomatoes, cook for another 5 minutes, add your peas, and cook for another 5 minutes. Add the liquid remain from the split peas, you know, that is cooked. Cover it up, let it sit, and cook for another 5 minutes, and that's pretty much straightforward. So I'm just going to gather up everything I need for this real quick. This party started. I had a little, I chopped up more garlic for the rest of my day, so I don't have to cut up anymore. Let's see, I need my ginger. I'm gonna have to cut up some ginger, so that or microplane it. But if you've never peeled ginger before, get a spoon, take it, and you just scrape the peel right off. Everybody sees that. It just comes right off. That's the best way of peeling ginger. Because if some people will try to cut it off, you're losing a lot of ginger. This, you're just getting just the peel. My suggestion, either finely mince this or microplane. Because no one wants to have a big old chunk of Jimmy. Oh, maybe this doesn't even have, oh yeah, there you go. So my chicken is marinating. I've got my pita bread or pita dough proofing right now. I'm working on the last two vegetables. All right, so let's see here. Onion. I would say small dice this onion. Onion, small dice. Station. We need. Don't have any salon. but I'm okay. Again, I'm getting all my mise en place together first before I start doing anything, because if I don't have all my mise en place together, I won't be able to get anything done. I'll be just going back and forth, back and forth. So I got that. I think I got everything. So I'm going to, in a pot, got a pot right here. Put it on. All right. So so my my peas have been soaking with the cinnamon stick and dried arbol chilies. And if you haven't done it already, just let it sit in a pot or in a container just with the arbols and the cinnamon stick to get a little flavor. And then you're just gonna strain and save the liquid. Okay, so you want to strain and save the liquid. And then in the stock pot, you're gonna add onions. So I'm gonna go ahead, turn on my heat. Put some fat in it. I'm using olive oil. You can use just about whatever you want. Let's see, we have, it says add, okay, so you're gonna add the oil, the onions. Add the onions. Let's see what else. Onions cook for low, and then we'll add the ginger and garlic. I'm gonna let that go. Okay, so my onions are good. Love the smell of cooking onions. Okay, so I've got my onions in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my ginger. You can always add more ginger. You can never take it away. So just be very careful. Do its thing. garlic, the ginger, and the onions now. Calls for next thing to do is add what? Add the tomato, the turmeric. Again, be very careful with the turmeric. I'm going to put in the turmeric first because I like to bloom my turmeric in the oil. Again, a little turmeric will stain, so be very careful. You get it on yourself. Ooh, mustard seed. Looks like that turmeric gives it that color. Put a little of that canned diced tomato. Which is called. Says a half. Okay, so half canned diced tomato. I don't know what it looks like now. Add my peas in. Add that liquid. Stir it around. Go add that liquid over that. So, here's the liquid in there. And now I'm going to just let it cook. Also add my serrano peppers. Now I'm going to just let that cook down until it gets nice and cooked. And remember that this it should be kind of, it's going to be a little kind of, some of the peas are going to be like mush and some of them are going to be solid. So it's kind of I'll show you a picture of it. Kind of here is kind of a picture of it. There's, you know, it might look something like this, but it's something similar to this, maybe a little less pureed or a little less mushy, but somewhere in between that. Okay, excuse me. So that was this, we're just gonna let it cook. Do its thing as it's cooking. I just need to watch it. And make sure that doesn't burn or overcook or anything like that. Right, that one's done. Now let's go to the last. Check on my pita bread. Wow, my pita bread is doubled in its size, or pretty much doubled in its size. I'm going to let it sit for a few more minutes because I'm not going to have time to mess with it right now. I'm going to work on the other dish. Then I will take care of that. So let's go to the last dish. That's okra, red onions, oil, ginger, serrano pepper, green cardamom, turmeric, tomato, and salt and pepper. Right now, if you, let me show you the picture of this, and there are different variations to this. Some people like to leave it whole. Some like to cut it in half, cut it in like half lengthwise, or cut it into rounds. It's up to you. I'm okay with whatever you want to do. I'm going to just cut them in rounds. It's a little easier to eat. I'm going to take this. Oh, wait, I can't see it. There we go. So I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to cut these into rounds. I saw my split peas there. It came up to a boil. I need to turn it down a little slower. Okra. Cut them about the same thickness, whatever it is, because again, we're batch cooking this. We're cooking this all together, right? So if one's real thin, then the other one's then and one's real thick, we'll turn into mush. Please rinse these if you haven't already rinsed them before you deal with it. I would make that a habit for anybody, is to always rinse your vegetables, clean your vegetables, just because you don't want, God only knows what was on it or what's been in it. Even when it says pre-washed, I always like I clean it, because I don't trust commercially done stuff. Go, got my Gross. Garbage. Bad ones. Okay, so here's this. Let's see what else. I know we need ginger and garlic. Okay, so red onion I need to cut up. I really need to sharpen my knife. So my peas are doing its thing right now. Low and slow, that is tempo, just like the Beastie Boys said, right? So I got that. So my onions, now, chopped. These guys, I'm okay with maybe more of a not as fine of a dice, because the stuff is a little bit bigger in here. Like for the split peas, for sure you want small diced onions, just because again, you don't want those. You want it smaller than the peas. You want your onions for this. You know, it could be a little bit bigger just because the okra is a little bit bigger. So it's not as important to get it ultra small. Onion right there. Oh, again, getting all my mise en place together so I can bang it out all at once instead of doing something and then stopping and doing something and stopping. It's one of those things where, yeah.
Detail on that fryer over there. Have you seen the fryer in K6?
No, I didn't even know we had a fryer.
Yeah, I probably haven't been used in 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. The cake is like
Oh.
high in oil.
Oh, that sucks. All right, so I've got my ginger, my garlic. I need to get my serrano pepper. All right, I got red onion, I got ginger, I got serrano, turmeric I have, the whole diced tomatoes I've got, salt and pepper, the green cardamom. Let me show you cardamom. I would suggest using only one cardamom clove. Cardamom seed. Check my. Show it to you in a minute. All right, in a sauce pot, you're going to add oil, garlic, ginger, serranos, cardamom, turmeric. Cook it. Then you're going to add your tomatoes. It doesn't even say anything about adding Oh yeah, add the okra. So you're gonna put everything in except pretty much the okra. Then you'll put the okra in and just let it cook. So I'm gonna find the pot real quick. So got a pot, same size pot as I have for my peas. I'm gonna get some oil. On the heat. Then we have, says add onions, so I'll add my onions. On low heat, cover until, so I'll put that, the ginger. Garlic. And to be very careful with the turmeric. Or one green cardamom pod in there. Cardamom can be really strong, so my suggestion is wine would be fine. Peas are doing its thing. So I've got everything in except my, see that? I've got everything in except my okra. Put that in just a second. Except the tomato. Let's put the tomato in there. And if you don't have okra, you would just do this with the tomatoes. You just add more tomatoes. And this will be kind of a sweet tomato dish. You do not have the okra. If you have okra, you can do it this way. But if you don't, you just put in your tomato and you just let it kind of cook. And that's kind of what you're going to use for, or that's going to be your vegetable. Okay, it's just with the tomato. So if you do not have okra, this is kind of what it's going to be. Just like so. But I would just add a little bit of moisture to it, just so where it, you know. I'm gonna put the okra in there. And here's what it looks like with the okra in there. And we're just gonna let it cook and slowly cook down. The okra soften up. So I'm gonna put it on low heat. skosh or a little drop or little bit of water in there. But now I'm gonna start to sit and cook and do some. So I got my peas cooking, I've got my okra cooking, and I've got my chicken marinating. So everything's pretty much ready to go. All I need to do is deal with the pita and skewer up the chicken and cook the chicken. So I'm gonna kind of clean up my station. I'm gonna go get me another drink. And then in about 5 or 6 minutes, I will start dealing with the probably pita. And then I will skewer up my chicken after that. Because my cooking of my chicken is not going to take that long. So where, you know, I need to get everything ready before I kind of cook my chicken. So I am going to just kind of clean up for a second and go get another drink and then come back here and bang out the pita and skewer up the chicken and plate it all up. So I will be back in 5 minutes. Now, check on stuff. And then start pushing through. Show you my split peas. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's looking good. Give it a stir. Peas might need. Okra. Now, just be careful with okra. There is not much moisture in this okra recipe. So where if you don't watch it, you could easily burn it. Okay. So here is, and you can see how active my yeast has gotten on this. Is at least doubled in its size. That's good. So I'm going to make sure my table is wiped down. I'm going to take it out. I need to portion it out into 2.5 ounce portions. See, I'm going to just got my scale here and just going to so here it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, use my palm of my hand. I'm going to ball it up just like so. Okay. I'm going to ball it up and I'm going to just let it sit there. I'm going to put some plastic wrap on it. And I'll move my computer so you can see it a little bit more in just a second. Because I need to portion these out first, and then I will roll them out in the shapes that I need. Just don't want the dough to dry out. And I need to check the temperature of 470. So I'm going to go to the oven, crank it up to around 475. And then I'm going to just start pushing these guys out. 2.5 ounce balls. Bam. Oh, cool. Always feel awesome when you weigh it out perfectly. And just making a ball. And this is letting it rest because I'm working the dough a little much right now, right? And I'll need to make sure that the dough is soft enough for me to roll out. Plus, when you're rolling it out, if you don't put it in a ball, it tends to not into that shape that we want, that what pitas normally should look like. distance thing. No. Smaller. So I got my dough balled up right there, if you can see it. I'm gonna get rid of my Okay, so I've got my dough balls. I need to get my a rolling pin, and I need to get a sheet. So you always start with the last one that you are the very first one. I'm gonna sprinkle a little flour down. I'm gonna roll it out into a circle, right? Because that's what a pita should look like. Sometimes you have to stretch it out with your hand a little bit. Get a little weight to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to test out one before I bake them all, just to make sure that it's what I want. Okay, so here is a little round pita right here. I'm going to take this. Do them all. I'm going to just roll these guys out real quick. Flour in. Try to keep them as round as possible, right? Because that's what a pita should look like. Glad I did. Going. Okra's going. It's almost done. All I'm gonna have to do now is stir up the chicken. I don't know if you can just see, I'm laying out my pitas right here on the sheet pan. If you have any leftover pitas or pitas that are jacked up, you can always turn those into pita chips. Or if you have any leftover, you overcook it, whatever else, you can always turn those into pita chips. Hey, I'm just rolling out pitas. Check my okra. Again, don't want to burn my okra. So I've got a full sheet pan of pitas. I'm going to just stick in the 475-degree oven. They're going to puff up, like, you know, and have a little hole, kind of a gap to it. I'll show you what it looks like whenever I get. Three more pitas. I'm going to just go ahead and roll out and don't like wasted food. Bring over my camera in a minute to the oven. So it's what it looks like in the oven. pita. Okra, make sure it's not burning. I heard it kind of sizzling a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that sound, but that told me that, hey, Cliff, you better pay attention. My peas need maybe a little bit more moisture. Peas are doing its thing. Last. Pita. Just need- Wait, if you want to look in just a second, I'm going to log in on my phone to find that video. Logging in right now. And I'm going to show you what that pita looks like in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to open the oven up, and then I'm going to close it. But you can see the pitas right there, they're puffed up. That's kind of what we want. And so that is, that's kind of what we're looking for. There's one that didn't puff up. So any of the ones that didn't puff up, I can use those for pita chips or something else. It's totally fine. Bake for 5 to 7 minutes until done. Show you here if you want to look, if you can see my pita, how it's puffed up just like this. That's what it should look like. And it'll deflate as it sits and cools.
I was gonna ask you, Chef, does it deflate?
Yeah, it will deflate.
Okay.
And then plus you need to cut it. You're going to cut it
Yeah.
anyway because we're going to deliver the chicken. Okay, so here is, do you see on the sheet pan, all of them rose except this one right here. And it just kind of got flat. It started rising, but it didn't completely rise up. So I'm going to just kind of put this off to the side and a little bit. Put this so where it'll cool. Right, so pretty much the last thing I need to do, I've got everything cooking. I've got my okra doing its thing. Turn it down a little bit. thing. And I need my chicken, so I'm gonna kind of clean up my area because I'm gonna have, might have chicken juice everywhere. And then start stirring. I got a lot of flour on my apron today. All right, so get my chicken out. So I'm gonna go get my chicken real quick. All right, here's my chicken. Let's get my skewers that have been soaking. You go ahead and get the pitas. Pitas that I have. I'm gonna take them out. Here are the last two. All right, so the Alyssa Watt, the all right, so we've got our chicken. Okay, for skewering up, I'm gonna just skewer up the chicken. I have some regular onion that I'm gonna put in between the chicken. All right, now let me show you. You have kind of a longer or a wider, so you want it not to hang off very much. So you're gonna go more up and down with that meat because we want it to be more on the skewer, not hanging off of the skewer. So try to skewer this so where most of the meat is on the skewer, not hanging off. Okay, I'm gonna do, not gonna overfill this one too much, but I will trim some of the skewer off because I wanna, if I try to fill this huge skewer with it, it's just gonna look odd. I'm gonna only have one skewer full of meat and that's it. And that's not what I at least want 2 skewers. And you kind of want to space them out a little bit. You don't want it too stuck. And I'm using the onion as kind of a spacer. Last piece. There we got it, boom. In my hands. My grill is on. If you don't have a grill, my suggestion would be put it in a very high oven because you want to get a char to it. So I would even say maybe a broiler, and then you get that kind of char, and then you finish it up, you know, at a lower temp. But just oil down my grill real quick. And I like to put just a touch of oil onto the kebab. Turn on the pan. Right now, my peas, I don't know if you can see, but they're starting to fall apart and get a little mushy. That's kind of what we want. I'm going to just now let it kind of cook down. Get all that moisture out, or all that moisture out. I've got my okra. Okra is nice and it's wet, but not too wet. I'll taste that a bit. Here's my skewered product right here. I'm gonna put some salt, pepper on the chicken, and then I'm gonna just grill it. Always can, if it gets hard or whatever else, or if it's overcooked on the grill and it's not like getting too dark, you can always take it off the grill and put it out on the finish. Just make sure that it's not raw. And unfortunately, sometimes with you marinating, that you can't really tell if it is done. So sometimes you have to sacrifice one piece of chicken. All right, so I got the peas. Now salt and pepper. This one had vinegar in it, didn't it? The peas, anybody remember that? Got a little spice to it. Serrano, got article, stuff in there. Got a little spice to it. Let's do that. African food. Kebab. Charcuterie. Let me get my. Ooh, that's spicy. Spice to it. I'm a whip. Okay, so here are my pitas. I'm gonna take my, and obviously you can see that those two cannot play. We need to buy it smaller. There you go. It's got that little pocket right there. Okay, so if this broke, right, I could turn that into just a pita chip. Pita chips. And here are my pitas cut, ready to go. Got my bowls ready for my okra right here. Cheese right here. chicken. And my chicken should be ready in about a few minutes or so. In about 2 or 3 minutes, I will pull out my chicken and make it up. Grab it. You can see it's got a little bit of char on it, right? Check to make sure it's done. It is done. Put my pita over here. There is skewered chicken with the pita. And then you have the Alyssa Watt and the other Alyssa. So that is it. Typically what you would do is take the skewer, unskewer it, and put it in your pita and put some of these vegetables in your pita as well. And that's what you would eat with your pita bread. That is what you're going to be doing today. Questions, problems, concerns, issues?